we must say happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out here. A very special day for these Astros who are getting to wear the special uniforms in celebration of Mother's Day. But the pink bats, the pink shoes, lots of these items being used today and will be auctioned off as they try to raise money for breast cancer awareness. We did get a chance to catch up with some of these Astros on their moms and the importance in their lives.
She's been everything to me since I can, obviously remember start playing. She's always excited to come watch me play.
I do some dumb things, but she just looks at me and rolls her eyes. But I know inside she's just she just loves me to death. Because even though if I'll do the stupidest thing in the world, if it makes her smile just a little bit, I'll get away with it.
Early morning, late night, whatever it may be, Mom's always there to listen, and she's got a good set of ears that she can be a sounding block for me, and has always led me with some good advice, and kind of taught me a lot of who I am and where I've come from, and that's always something that you hold near and dear to your heart.
Big, really big. She's always there when I need her, and she was the one that took care of me with my dad too, and I love her. What can I say?
These players love their mothers, and they got a chance to do something special for some of the moms that were in town today. Several Astros moms were able to throw out the first pitch. That was Joyce Feldman Scott's mother, Robin Rasmus Colby's mother, Lisa Tucker, Preston's mother, and Teresa Keuchel, Dallas Keuchel's mom. They had a lot of fun. Don't go anywhere. We have more to get to, including first pitch from Colin McHugh. Astros Mariners next. Brownie and Ash on the call.
Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Lexus. The new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing too high. Outside the ballpark there. It is a nice day, cloudy, so the roof is closed here at Minute Maid Park, ending that string of roof open games. And a little autographing going on in the field as the kids have taken their positions, and touching scene at home plate. A youngster in a wheelchair was awaiting the arrival of the Astros catcher Jason Castro, so he could take the field with Castro, and the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson spent some time with that young man. Very special day for the kids getting to take the field and run wild a little bit, Ash.
Wait a minute, I'm not leaving the field. I haven't had a chance to play yet.
It's 1-0. The kids have already scored in this game. And Colin McHugh warms up to face this starting lineup for former Astros catcher Scott Service, managing the Seattle Mariners. He's going with Norichika Aoki in left field. Ketel Marte, the shortstop. Robinson Cano has absolutely killed the Astros with 16 runs batted in this year, and he's batting third at second base with Kyle Seager at third base, the cleanup man. Number 5 hitter, right fielder Seth Smith, Adam Lind at first base, Dae-Ho Lee at DH, Steve Clevenger the catcher, Leonis Martin the center fielder. The pitcher is Hisashi Iwakuma.
And on the mound on this Mother's Day for the Astros, Colin McHugh, 28 years of age now, making his 7th start on the year. You see the numbers, ERA at about 6.5 on the year. Disturbing numbers to go with it. Left-hand hitters hitting .383. The righties are at .333, so a lot of work to be done by Colin McHugh.
He won that game at Seattle April 27th, 7-4, beating Iwakuma. He went 5 innings in that game, allowing 2 runs, throwing 101 pitches. And last time out, he beat the Minnesota Twins 6-4 with 5 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs. So a 2-game winning streak for Colin McHugh. And it's Aoki getting it going. 227 for Aoki. And he's driven in 6 this year, with a .407 on base percentage in his last dozen games. First pitch is ball 1. Aoki has had 3 hits in this series. This is game 4, final game of this set. Cleveland Indians are here tomorrow night. And for a strike, and it's 1-1. In Colin McHugh's career against Seattle, he's 6-3 with a 5.30 ERA for 9 starts. Third baseman Valbuena on the grass. That's strike 2. 1-2 the count. The Mariners have the best road record in the American League.
Castro sets up away, takes it on the inside portion of the plate.
And the curveball is hit foul. Aoki way out in front of that one. Early souvenir down the right field line. The Mariners have won 6 series in a row, 5 straight road series. They're 5-1 on this road trip. This is the finale of the trip for them today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Seattle has the lead in the season series on Houston, 4-2. The Astros 3-3 on this homestand, with 3 games remaining after this one on the 10-game homestand. Hit high and hard and foul up the right field line into that second deck, and it caroms back down onto the field.
Don't think of Aoki as having this kind of power, but that ball, like you say, second tank out there.
He's not gone deep this season. Has 19 career home runs and over 1,600 at bats. And fouls that one away. Colby Rasmus is over in the left field corner for this left-handed hitter. And so he doesn't turn on a lot of balls. Of course, he did hit that one foul earlier, but has not hit too many balls near the right field corner. This will be the 8th pitch of the game. And he slaps it to third. Valbuena with the first play. 1 out for McHugh. It's been a good series. Interesting baseball, close games. Seattle won the first game Thursday night 6-3. The Astros bounced back with a 6-3 win Friday night. Then last night in 10, Seattle took it 3-2.
Last night very intense with that game-tying home run by Valbuena in the 9th inning and on to extras.
Ketel Marte starts the day at .284. He's driven in 7. He's had a nice series. That's ball 1. Yeah, a lot of things going well for Seattle, including playing well in close games. That was their 7th 1-run win against 5 losses for Scott Service's club. Overall, they're in first place at 18-12. And they're 3rd in runs scored, but their pitching really has been very good for Scott Service as well. So that kind of a road start is what every team is hoping for. Marte has 3 hits and 3 runs batted in this series. This one goes out to left center field. Jake Marisnick cruising back. 2 outs. It's Jake Day, as George Springer would say when Marisnick is in the starting lineup.
These two are pretty tight, aren't they?
They are tight. He's a superb defensive player. Now it's Robinson Cano. What to do about Robinson Cano? He has had another big series here, Ash.
There are some out there who would have you walk him all the time, maybe put him on base in other fashions, but eventually guys come back down to earth and start making outs.
The Major League RBI leader with 32 has half of those against the Astros. Taking all the way. It's strike one. We had a little pass pattern competition there between George Springer and Jake Marisnick with their helmets on in pregame workouts.
Like the offense lost on that series.
They need to draft a passer. Fly ball out to left center. Marisnick coming over, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Colin McHugh. The Astros are up in just a moment. Two-three against Colin McHugh. Now the Astros come up with this starting lineup for A.J. Hinch. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jose Altuve returns to the top spot. He's at second base with George Springer in right field. Carlos Correa is the shortstop. Colby Rasmus cleans it up in left field. With Marwin Gonzalez batting fifth today at first base. Luis Valbuena at third base. Tyler White the DH. Jason Castro the catcher. Jake Marisnick in center field.
And a veteran right-hander. Hisashi Iwakuma on the hill from Tokyo, Japan, 35 years of age now. And he's been one of the game's fine pitchers for some time. Iwakuma, last time out, 8 innings of quality work, just a couple of earnings against him against the Angels. So he's pitching good baseball.
As you can see, since 2014, the Astros have really performed well offensively against Iwakuma. See how they perform in the pink today. With Altuve, the league leader in total bases, stepping up. He also leads in extra base hits. 317, 9 homers, 19 runs batted in. He leads in slugging at 658. Great start for Altuve. And he fouls that back. Strike one. Last night was the first game he has not started all year, but he got in late as a pinch runner in the 7th inning and stayed in to play second base, going 0 for 1. Now Altuve back in this characteristic leadoff spot. George Springer was joking about not doing too well as a leadoff man last night. He said Altuve's great. Punched out to right center field, and that's a running catch by Seth Smith. One down. Now the Astros have handled Iwakuma well. As you may have noticed on that graphic, the last time he beat them was here in Houston, July 1st of 2014. And since then, he has lost 3 of 4 starts and gotten a no decision in the other. And in those last 4 starts, they've scored at least 4 runs off him each time. But Tuesday, he pitched well and defeated the Athletics in Oakland with 7 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball. George Springer is the batter. There's strike one on the foul tip. And you mentioned Iwakuma is from Tokyo, and he had such success in Japan, joining in the tradition of several Japanese-born pitchers who have come to Seattle from that country. The Mariners have had Japanese ownership down through the years. No balls, 2 strikes to Springer. Iwakuma has really served this club well to the tune of 48 and 28 with a 3.21 ERA. He's 35 now. He strikes out Springer, 2 outs.
You could see that all coming after they got 2 strikes on George up the ladder, despite the fact the fastball is not even up to 90 miles an hour. It slips it right by. And that's pretty much a routine on George. See, that back foot just gets locked back there, never comes up and drives with that back foot.
Together since 1957, 59th wedding anniversary. Great jerseys. Carlos Correa with 5 homers, 15 runs batted in, is hitting .284. Ball 1 to Correa, who's 4 for 11 with a homer in this series. Line to third, Seager makes the catch. We go to the 2nd inning after a 7-pitch first. 0-0.
The first one to play catch with me. She used to play softball, and when my dad's at work and I'm in the middle of the day and bugging her about playing catch, she was always down. She always wanted to come out and throw the ball with me. I think when I turned like 12 or 13 and I started actually pitching, she was like, "That's all right. That's enough. I officially can't do this anymore."
That's Colin McHugh, who's getting back to work here, talking about his mother, Teresa McHugh, who's probably watching from home right now. But all these guys sharing some great stories about their mothers, guys, and just the impact that they've had on their lives in different ways, including there playing catch with Colin. What a great scene that would have been to see those two.
You bet. Kyle Seager leads it off. He's on an 8-game hitting streak. Gets the Colin McHugh curveball, and it's good for strike 1 on a .232 hitter with 7 homers. 19 runs batted in. Seager, though, has had a big road trip, going 12 for 26 with 2 homers, driving in 6. It's 1-1. Seager hit his most recent home run last night in the 2nd inning off Dallas Keuchel, one of 3 long balls in Seattle's 3-2 10-inning win. Robinson Cano hit the other 2. Foul back, 1-2. Yeah, you think about things like that. For all these players, their mothers are so instrumental in their development and the support system that they've had through their families and friends to get them to where they are.
Start throwing the hook to Mom, though. That's time for Mom to bail.
Time to bow out. Hand the mitt to somebody else. The roller goes foul, 1-2. That's a great family, the McHugh family, Scott, Teresa. Frequently they do come to Houston. Against off-speed pitches, Kyle Seager has hit just 148. Smith is on deck. It's 2-2. We've seen a lot of the Astros players' families visiting, multiple visits per season. Dallas Keuchel's family's here a lot from Oklahoma. Struck him out. One down. First strikeout for Colin.
We take a look now at the strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. We'll see it throughout the game. That fastball just ran away, but with a couple of strikes, hitters tend to want to protect in the zone.
Seth Smith, the right fielder with a .263 average, has 4 homers, 12 runs batted in. Smith batted second both Thursday and Friday night, finding himself in the number 5 spot in the lineup here with Adam Lind on deck. 1-0 for the Mariners with 16 wins in their last 22 games. This 18-12 start is tied for the 4th best in their history. They're a game and a half in front of Texas. The Astros trail by 7.5 in 5th place. Pop up. Valbuena gets there first, but he's called off by Altuve on the other side of the mound. 2 down.
You know how that center fielder is the quarterback in the outfield. In the infield, there's no question as to who that is.
No, you know he's coming, so you need to be prepared to get out of his way. 5 in a row set down by McHugh. Now it's Adam Lind. Lind carries a .210 average into the box with 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. The infield shifts around on him. Lind looks at strike one. He had 20 homers and drove in 87 runs last year for Milwaukee. Not sure what his stats are in the pink shoes, though.
Everybody's numbers go up.
Curveball works, and it's 0-2. Lind 0 for 7 in this series.
Right over the top with that yanker.
Good downward break. McHugh has won both of his pairings down through the last couple of years with Iwakuma. That liner goes into the seats. Still no balls, 2 strikes to Adam Lind, who began his career with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hit 35 home runs when he was DHing for them in 09. Mariners haven't had a productive first baseman since 09. 1-2. They're going with the platoon for the most part, with Lind and Dae-Ho Lee. Lee is DHing today. Nelson Cruz getting a rare day off. Lind was acquired from Milwaukee for 3 minor league pitchers. That's a liner into right field. Springer over to play it, and Lind is the first base runner of the game with a 2-out, 2-strike single.
Maybe a little cutter trying to get in, but Lind a little quicker got the barrel to it.
Yeah, you could see it on that replay. He was able to get the bat out in front and keep that pitch from getting too far in on his hands.
Pink bat is going to be popular for a while now.
Yeah. Big Dae-Ho Lee was 0 for 4 in last night's game. There's strike one to him. He has hit 4 home runs so far this year in the early going.
So you can do this throughout games, and it wasn't just last night around the major leagues. It happens all over the place, but when things go wrong, it can look like it's all going against your club.
.308 against right-handers for Dae Ho Lee, so that would suggest the platoon arrangement is not strictly a numbers platoon anyway. Well, it was wide open on the right side with the shift on, and that's where he took it into right center field. Well, it's runners at first and third, and both with 2 strike hits here to get Clevenger to the plate.
If Dae Ho Lee continues swinging it well against the right-handers, he'll find himself in a platoon that gets him in about 150 games.
Yeah.
It's a good job reaching down and away, and looked like he was shooting that way. It could have just been the pitch that led to that.
Steve Clevenger, the catcher, is the batter. Clevenger, a 30-year-old veteran, is hitting .200, 1 homer, 3 runs batted in 8 games. He was with Baltimore last year. Clevenger takes a hook. He is 2 for 5 lifetime against McHugh. Strike 1 there. Clevenger had a game-winning homer in the 10th against the Astros back in 2014 in Baltimore. 1 ball, 1 strike. He came up with the Cubs, who drafted him in '06. And he and Scott Feldman actually were traded in the same deal for Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop when they went to Baltimore from the Cubs. Now 2-1 for Colin.
Sometimes that strike zone floats around. Take, for instance, last night. A lot of the hitters complaining about strike calls, and yet it was Dallas Keuchel and the pitching staff feeling like they had been squeezed.
Ground ball, Altuve. Over to Gonzalez. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, no score.
Park scoreless game. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Time now for our forward spray chart. Take a look at Colby Rasmus and how he utilizes the field, or maybe how he chooses not to hit to left field a whole lot. Center field, right field primarily where Colby's going to go, as he hooks a lot of things and has that great power. But Colby not a big threat to left field.
He leads it off in the home 2nd inning with 7 homers and 25 runs batted in. 2nd in runs batted in the American League with an .842 OPS for Colby. He looks at strike 1 from Iwakuma, who is 1-3 with a 4.03 ERA. He's walked just 11 in 39 innings.
The infield employs the shift. The outfield fairly straight up.
0-2 for Iwakuma.
Brownie, this is far from being overpowering what the Astros hitters are seeing from Iwakuma. The fastball not even coming close to approaching 90.
One and two. Iwakuma has been able to pitch well throughout his major league career. Not a high octane guy like a Yu Darvish. He was 9-5 last year in 20 starts. It's about finesse. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back in 2013, he was 3rd in the Cy Young voting, and he was an all-star, going 14-6 that year with Seattle with a 2.66 ERA. In 219 innings, he walked 42 that year. And he was a 15-game winner the next year. Bouncer to Lind. 1 out. He was close to the line, and that's exactly where the ball was hit. Positioned perfectly.
Take a look at our mattress firm, Supermo. Obi Rasmus. Talk about him hooking it. That's what we mean. That front hip tends to stay closed a little bit. He'll throw the hands out. The barrel will wrap around the baseball a lot of times. Very good pull hitter.
Marwin Gonzalez has hit 9 of his 26 career homers against the Seattle Mariners. Marwin, a .227 hitter, has 2 homers, 5 runs batted in this season. And great numbers against Iwakuma. 8 for 16 with a long ball. He looks at ball 1. So he gets himself the number 5 spot in the lineup at first base today. He's gone 5 for 12 in this series. Had 2 singles and a stolen base last night. Foul, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Last night, Marwin was starting at second base for Jose Altuve and batting second. One of those guys who can fill a variety of roles, not only where he plays in a position, but where he hits in the order. His first game against Iwakuma, he hit a homer back in 2013 here. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Astros now are getting a feel, of course, after those few years they've been in the American League West. Marwin and the hitters have seen some of these pitchers a number of times. 16 career at bats from Marwin against Iwakuma. That first year or two, though, moving to the AL West, was a transitional phase. Got him on strikes. That's 5 in a row for Iwakuma.
This fastball at 88 appeared to have a little more life, where you see Marwin go down under the baseball.
Luis Valbuena picked a great spot for his first home run of the season last night, leading off the home 9th inning. He went deep off Steve Cishek to tie the game at 2. Valbuena had not homered since the end of the year last year. That's strike 1 to him. 178, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in for Valbuena. That had been 78 at bats since his last home run, and hit that big one into the second deck in right field to tie it. This one a liner out to right center field. Is in for a hit, and it's loose on the warning track. Valbuena into second with an easy double with 2 outs. The first hit for an Astro.
It's been a very cold start for Valbuena, but with that home run last night and then watching the stroke right here, maybe you're seeing a guy finding it. Puts it right on the barrel. Promising for Valbuena.
Martin unable to field it cleanly. Would have been a double anyway. Valbuena's 5th of the year. Tyler White with 5 homers, 14 runs batted in, has a .237 batting average, DHing today. Evan Gattis will be DHing today for AA Corpus Christi. He did some catching last night. We'll have that story for you later. That's ball 1 to White. .286 against Seattle for White, who had 2 hits and 3 at bats last night, playing first base and batting 8th last night. Tyler's 3 for 7 in this series. He looks at it and it's 2-0.
That's a pretty good looking pitch. Imagine Iwakuma's thinking, what do I have to do around the knees?
We had a question on Twitter about this umpiring crew. Would they be leaving town after today? Yes.
Was that lined up to, can we encourage them to leave town?
It might have been. It's 3-0. And typically an umpiring crew will work one series only, will not be held over any longer than that. Sometimes even in a 3-4 game series, they'll leave after 3 games and go on somewhere else, and then a different crew will come in for game 4 and then maybe the next 3 game series if it's in that city. But yeah, that's in order to avoid ongoing problems with umpires and players, they do move around. In for a strike. 3-1. First year Iwakuma faced the Astros in 2013. He faced Bud Norris, Dallas Keuchel, Eric Bedard, and Brett Oberholzer in the 4 games he pitched. Valbuena around to score, and it's a double. 1-0 Houston on a double by White, his 6th of the year, giving him his 15th run batted in. There was blood in the water, and Great White jumped out and snared that 3-1 pitch.
And talk about Valbuena starting to possibly find it. Maybe even a little more evidence recently from Tyler White that he's finding it. And he becomes highly valuable once he swings that bat. And he sized up that 90 degrees pretty well right there, too.
Sure did, yeah. Valbuena home on back-to-back 2-out doubles to get the Astros into the lead, and Jason Castro bats now. Playing a day game after a night game. A.J. Hinch explained that. There is ball 1. Castro with a .200 average has 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Normally he would not be playing a day game after a night game, but he's about to take a brief break from baseball as he and his wife Maris will be welcoming a baby soon. And this week is in the timetable for that. One ball, 1 strike. Astros 1 for 8 in this series. Had homers in 2 straight games in the Minnesota series. So for this homestand, he's gone 6 for 17. Jake Marisnick's on deck. Astros been batting 9th much of the year, but he's in the number 8 spot today. He takes it. It's 2-1. Oh. Good shot. Castro the Astro from Castro Valley, California. A family of firefighters. He takes a strike and it's 2-2. The players, when they're interviewed and Julia talks with them about their upbringing, they always talk about mom and how she took them to their games when dad was working. This is the day that they all pay tribute to that by wearing all the pink and raising money for breast cancer awareness. These pieces of equipment will be available at an online auction. Should be able to find that at MLB.com somewhere. The game used bats and other pieces of equipment. The shoes really do stand out, don't they, Ash?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to last.
This is the 11th year, according to the Astros game notes, that the players around the majors have worn the pink gear. And the game-used pink bats are donated by Louisville Slugger to the players, and they'll be auctioned off at MLB.com. Net proceeds going to Major League Baseball charities in support of the fight against breast cancer.
So they auction the bats off as well.
Yes.
It used to be that guys would hang on to those bats if they got hot with them. Well, you'd see them around for a while till they were broken.
Well, they practiced with them in batting practice last night, we were told. Just to get the feel of that pink bat, because it's so unusual.
Because baseball on pink always feels different.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. They look like one big team on the field. No batting practice before the game, but the Mariners were down in the left field corner. They all had those pink undershirts on. And then the Astros had the same shirts on as they came out along the right field corner. Ground ball. Let's see if Cano's deep can make this play routinely, and he does. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. The Astros lead it 1-0 after 2.
With a 1-0 lead, and time for our Chevy Stroh poll. We're asking you, what's your favorite Carlos Correa catch? Make sure to vote on Twitter. Here's your first one. The leaping catch in Seattle against these Mariners is A, or is it the over-the-shoulder catch versus Oakland? Man, he's made some great plays in his short time in the big leagues. How about C, covering some serious ground in San Francisco last year? Nice little circus catch there that he made look pretty easy. And here was Friday night. Bases loaded in the 7th, Pat Neshek on the mound, freezing the runners there. Huge defensive play. We've seen him do it many times. We want to hear what your favorite catch is, though. Those are some pretty good ones, guys.
Excellent, excellent work, Julia. Leonis Martin leads it off in the third inning, 1-0 Houston. Martin with 5 homers, 12 runs batted in, has a .208 batting average. Bunting, and it goes back off the screen for strike 1.
So Julia basically figures she can take the heat off of the need to dance for us if she turns to Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping y'all had forgotten about that.
Well, we're going to have the great dance off later on this year.
So we break out the big guys so the heat gets off of me.
Yeah. This one looks good to Seattle. Deep to right field in the corner. Springer back. Springer reaches up and snags it though. Robs Martin on a deep drive.
And of course, at some point, people are going to ask, well, does the ball carry better when the roof is closed or open? I thought this ball was hit enough to get out. George Springer made sure it didn't. He just continues to make great plays, doesn't he?
Good timing. One down, and here's Aoki. He grounded to third earlier. Strike 1 for Colin McHugh. The Mariners were 76 and 86 last year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aoki, one of the newcomers this season as they recast the roster. He was with Kansas City a year ago. One and 2. His swing can look a little disjointed at times, Ash.
You know, even Ichiro, when he was slashing away at about a .350 rate, could take some very unusual swings. But he stayed on the ball so well. But it's kind of the same approach for Aoki.
Violent cut that previous pitch.
That closed hip, that lead hip kind of thing stays closed, and they have that drifting approach as they approach the baseball. But in the end, pretty good hitters.
Yeah, that is some kind of hand-eye coordination.
Yep.
But that previous pitch, it looked like would give just about anybody a sore neck with that kind of a swing and miss.
Well, even that swing right there would win a lot of funky swing awards on teams, but you know, basically he just stays alive.
He probably keeps the chiropractor very, very busy. Bounce foul. They've gotten 2 down there already. That same guy, didn't he?
The day has just begun, Brownie.
He got the earlier one, didn't he?
It's Mother's Day. She's going to have quite a gift set coming her way.
Matching set. Here's the ground ball to Marwin for round number 2. Don't you love it when the guys give mom something that the guys want?
Yeah. Well, if you don't really want it, I can make use of it.
Ketel Marte hit a fly ball to center first time up. What's appropriate? What's the best gift for Mother's Day?
Well, it depends what mom likes, I guess. You know, it's hard to beat some really fancy chocolates. Of course, flowers are always appreciated, but what's gone first? The fancy chocolates or the flowers?
Well, they could be combined. Or Mother's Day brunch.
See, now that could get confused as something you really wanted, Brownie, but
well, you're right. It all works together, doesn't it? In concert with the entire family and meeting its needs. Grounded, and there's the backhand play by Marwin and the toss. Colin McHugh has a 1-2-3 third. 1-0 Houston.
Astros out in front. Looking for games on certain days of the week with all the giveaways, your favorite rivalries, or maybe a little of each? The Astros 15-game flex plan puts you in charge. You get to pick the games and seat locations that work best for you. Purchase your 15-game flex plan today by visiting astros.com/mini plans or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. Hey, look who I have. This is my mom. I'm so happy to have her on Mother's Day. She flew in from Dallas, and now I'm going to get to sit with her, guys, hang out with her a little bit. And she thinks that I'm a really great dancer despite not having practiced anything, right?
Well, we saw
That's
that.
true.
We saw that. Now,
She can dance, too.
yeah, Dana can dance.
This is where I got it.
Yeah. Ball one to Jake Marisnick. Now, you were something at your wedding, Julia. You were dancing for hours.
Yes, we both danced.
Yeah.
My mom and dad are great dancers. That's where I learned it all. And yeah, it's really nice to have her here today. And we're about to catch a fly ball or foul ball here. Wow, some excitement on Mother's Day, guys.
Yeah, and she gets to see Jake Marisnick. Ask her if Jake Marisnick is her favorite Astro.
Is Jake Marisnick your favorite Astro as we watch him hit here, Mom? Do you have a favorite Astro?
I do like Jake.
You like all of them, though.
Altuve, of course. And Colby Jack.
Yeah.
Colby Jack. I love my mom.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, Mom.
You're welcome.
Tell her to stop by and say hello
I will.
if she gets a moment.
I will.
Marisnick, the ground ball to third, fielded by Seager. And that's out number one. That's nice that she could be with Mom on this special day. And we've seen her many times here at Minute Maid Park.
She credits her mom and says, Mom thinks I can dance. We know she can dance. That's why we want her on the feature piece, right?
Yeah, that's it. Jose Altuve, line to right field in the first inning. Good to go after that jammed index finger on the left hand from diving for a ball a couple of nights ago. He played for one night with that and then rested most of the game last night. Altuve looks at ball one. What a tremendous start for him. And he has hit .433 lifetime against Iwakuma with a homer and 7 runs batted in. That's a wicked pitch. Split finger.
Little splitter right there really changes things.
Special uniforms on this Mother's Day with the pink incorporated in the lettering there. One and two. Things have come a long way in terms of those uniforms, the bats, wristbands, socks.
So if a catcher has to paint the fingernails so the pitcher can see the signs, I guess pink is the obvious choice. Huh?
It's a must. There's a good view. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iwakuma, part of an excellent starting rotation with a 3.31 ERA for Seattle, second best in the American League. King Felix will pitch for them tomorrow night. They will be back home. And they are facing Matt Moore in Tampa Bay tomorrow night in Seattle. Tap to third. Here's Seager backhanding. Quick throw. Not in time. I think he had to go barehand to get him, and he chose to use the glove, Ash.
And some guys are quite adept at that transfer anyway. If you go barehanded, there's in essence a little transfer in the hand. You don't grab it like you throw it necessarily, but I think everybody realizes when Altuve taps one on the left side of the infield, your chances are extremely slim to get him. In fact, Altuve actually factors that into what he can do when he swings at certain pitches with a couple of strikes.
He does, right? Because he's done that so many times. He has 10 steals to lead the American League in 11 tries. George Springer, the batter, struck out first time up. There's strike one to Springer. If the Astros win today, they gain a split of this 4-game series. And that would put them at 4-3 on the homestand. Altuve has a look over at Iwakuma, who's looking over at him. It's 0-2. The Astros are 4th in steals with 21. That's a late action.
But the end result nowhere near the strike zone.
Not a big lead. 1-2. The Astros, though, even though they've stolen 21, they've been caught 11 times. But Altuve is 10 for 11. Great stolen base percentage for Altuve. Carlos Correa's on deck. Altuve's going. Clevenger's throw. Not in time, despite a good effort by Cano. A stolen base, number 11 for the league leader.
He's some kind of player. And you talk to people on other clubs, and in fact, they'll tell you their opinions about Altuve right away. Just a heck of a hitter. Best base stealer in the league. Tremendous defensive player at second base. And he's developed that power game.
Straight in slide.
Wound up fairly close.
2-2 now to Springer. Cano's trying to keep Altuve close to the bag. He's cheating over there. 3-2. We had a question on Twitter from Paulette Patterson. Do umpires always travel as a crew, meaning the same umpires always working together? No, they mix it up. They will travel together for a while, and then somebody else will join the crew. Somebody will leave and go on another crew. Umpires are called up from the minor leagues to work a portion of the season. Then they go back down to the minor leagues. So there are rotations that change. Struck him out looking. Third strikeout for Iwakuma.
George got caught on one late last night, up and in the strike zone. Watch the body react and kind of shows that he didn't feel it well coming in.
Well, you think, and you worked so many games behind the plate, you get a right-handed hitter thinking about that cutter away.
Yep.
And then you come in on him and it's a surprise.
It really is. And you see that same kind of flinchy reaction.
Now it's Correa. Time called as Clevenger comes out. Correa lined hard to third base in the first inning. Back many years ago, though, the umpiring crews did stay the same all year. Those guys,
I thought, yeah,
they used to travel together, do all the games together. Nobody got vacation time. That's quite some time ago, though. Now they all get vacation. Big lead for Altuve. He is way off second. He takes third without a play. They made no effort to stop him from stealing third with 2 outs.
You see that reaction from Altuve as he talked to Gary Pettis? It was like almost like an apology. Well, I mean, geez, I had to go. They gave it to me.
True. He did.
Because obviously you can't make the out right there. But for Altuve, well, okay, I'll take it if it's a freebie.
Yeah, he's putting his hands out. Well, okay, I got to go then.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it looked like in his assessment as he talks to his third base coach.
Hey, when you've got to go, you've got to go, Ash.
And by the way, fix those stirrups a little bit. That whole program's a little shaky down there.
1-1. And jammed there. Correa fights off the up and in pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a clean looking uni, though.
Yes.
Now that's just.
Well, you don't want to get a pink uniform dirty.
Something's wrong there.
The color pink does not wear dirt well. Somebody will pay big money for those socks, though. Here's betting. You know, there's nothing like game-worn paraphernalia for fans.
Yeah, I would have loved that as a kid.
And they don't want it cleaned up either. They want the dirt on it.
See, now that I've aged a little bit, I'm going to say it's game-worn. Can you make sure and wash it real well before you send it to me?
Yeah, right. 2-2 with Colby Rasmus on deck. In the dirt, and there's the stop. But by stealing third, Altuve is positioned to be able to score on a wild pitch, forcing a good play by Clevenger. There's not that much of an advantage to being on third with 2 outs compared to being on second with 2 outs. But there is a slight one. Back-to-back full counts for Iwakuma. His pitch count is up to 49 now, as you see. And that's in the dirt, but that saved a run on ball 4 to Correa. Well, Clevenger has come up with back-to-back plays.
Houston Methodist now brings us our league leaders. So we look at longest home runs around the major leagues this year. Have you seen Giancarlo Stanton recently? Some of the balls he's been hitting. He's at the top of the heap. Jordy Mercer, look at the bottom 2. Carlos Correa and Colby Rasmus, both at 461. Let's take a look at those shots. First, Correa in Yankee Stadium, start of the year, almost straightaway central, and then Colby Rasmus went on to Milwaukee where he launched one. Colby launched a couple in that series, but pretty impressive shots. You seen those shots from Giancarlo Stanton?
Yes.
Man, oh man.
They headed for Biscayne Bay. Rasmus grounded out to first his first time up. Strike 1. Love to read about these legendary tape measure home runs. Somebody hit one into a train and it bounced up into the boxcar, and you know they found it 800 miles away, that kind of thing.
Or did it land there?
Right. Runner going, swing and a miss, no play on Correa to prevent him from stealing his 5th of the year.
Take them when they're handed to you, and then you get that little measly single and drive in a pair. That's what this club has got to start finding a way to come up with.
Exactly. Now Rasmus looks for contact behind 0-2. Marlon Gonzalez on deck. One ball, 2 strikes. This Astros team is working the counts better than last year's team. Next pitch will be the 25th pitch of the inning. And a big 2-out delivery here would go a long way. The Astros as a team, despite what you saw on Colby's excellent stats, they are hitting 168 with 2 outs and men in scoring position. And a big 2-out, 2-strike hit with 2 men in scoring position, that can go a long way for a club. A.J. Hinch would love to see that.
Look, that home run ball is going to be obviously a huge key in an offense, but hitting with men in scoring position might be larger when it's all said and done. The opportunities like this to drive in a pair with a single. You know, with all you talk about, the Astros are right about middle of the pack in the American League in runs per game. They're at 4.1. You get it up to 5 runs a game and you're going to win a lot more ball games.
Bunt. Iwakuma with a throw. Safe, and the run scores. What a play. A 2-strike, 2-out bunt.
I'm going to be surprised if this is not contested. That was pretty darn close. Scott Service is taking a look, and I think he's declining. Yeah, how about that? Now that might be too measly of a single, but you get 1 out of it.
Really close at first.
Yeah, Colby beat it. That's the way to get down that line.
It goes as an RBI single, his 26th run batted in, and how big is that to make it 2-0 and also advance Correa to third without Altuve scoring for the 29th time.
So that's what run producers look like, huh?
That's it. It works. So rare. When's the last time you saw that one out of the cleanup man?
With less than 2 outs, you just get panicked down at third base.
Marwin Gonzalez struck out. Can't remember seeing that the last time. Cleanup man, 1-2 count, 2 outs in the inning, putting down a bunt for an RBI single.
When you're struggling a little bit with the bat, and Colby has been, that's a great way to pick up something to help the club.
Marwin looks at it, and it's ball 1.
Once you're safe.
Well, that's true. There, first of all, the risk of not getting it down and striking out on a foul bunt try, and then secondly, you have to beat it out.
Yeah, once you're safe, it's Mother's Day and the world is just rosy.
Buena's on deck. The Astros have 2 runs on 4 hits. Really are making Iwakuma work hard in this inning. Another in the dirt makes it 2-0. Well, a hit here could go a long way with the tiring effect on Iwakuma. Marwin's a .305 lifetime hitter against the Seattle club. We gave you the homers and RBIs earlier for him, but that is not predictive in any way. Some guys just hit well against certain teams. There's no real explanation for it.
I think it's just fluke of the circumstances. And then maybe you start to believe at some point when the reporters come up and present the numbers to you.
Chopped, and Lynn with the foul ball getting up in the air. That makes it 2-1.
What you hate is when you've been in one stadium and you're like 1 for 40 in the ballpark, and the reporters have been telling you the numbers for some years now, and you start to buy in. I just can't hit in this yard.
How about when you're going to a place like Cincinnati and your career .390 hitter there? You know that.
Guaranteed, and it does mean something.
Two and 2. Big cut by Marwin.
Marwin struck out on a fastball his first at bat. This is a splitter, not a great location, but nonetheless effective.
You don't suppose Big John Daly's taking any swings like that today, do you?
Much harder than that.
That's a hit. Correa scores 3-0, and the Astros are putting an inning together of small ball.
Now there's your measly single. Take them right now.
RBI number 6 for Marwin Gonzalez, batting 5th today.
Yes, sir, and the stolen bases have factored in. This has not been your pounded away, lead the league in home runs inning.
Now the pitching coach and interpreter come to the mound. 3-0 as Marwin delivers. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. and the interpreter talk it over with Iwakuma. We don't see any warm-up action right now in the bullpen. The inning started with a routine grounder, then Altuve beat out an infield hit, and Correa walked on a full count. Then on a 1-2 pitch, Rasmus dropped down that surprise bunt to get run number 2 home, and Marwin Gonzalez beat the shift with a ground ball through the left side. Now Valbuena has runners at first and second. He doubled to right center. The Astros would love to see him continue what he started last night, go off on a run for a while. Bueno looks at ball one. He provided a lot of offense from the bottom of the order last year with his 25 long balls. One ball, one strike.
A little more confident hitter right now, and that big home run swing from a year ago.
Well, if he can get aboard and get the great White to the plate, it should be feeding time here in the third inning.
You would think so. It's chum in the water.
One and two.
Right up there with the fastball on that uppercut swing. Valbuena just seems overly susceptible.
Looking back over the inning with long counts on just about every hitter. Altuve got his infield hit with 2 strikes in the count. Correa walked on a 3-2 pitch. Rasmus a hit with 2 strikes. Gonzalez a hit with 2 strikes. And this time Iwakuma has his way, striking out Valbuena in a 34-pitch inning in which the Astros score 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2, 3-0.
As we go to the top of the fourth inning in the minor leagues last night, some big stuff went on for the Astros. Lance McCullers got back to the mound, 5 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, only a couple of hits against him. Lance McCullers coming along well. Evan Gattis was behind the plate, had a 2-run home run in the game. Evan was doing a lot of things, a little defense as well. Can he throw? Yeah, he got his man trying to steal second base. How's he doing the pop flies? Nothing but routine, baby. So yeah, a couple of guys looking good last night. We'll see him soon.
Robinson Cano takes strike 1. 4th inning underway. Cano hit a fly ball to center his first time up. Yeah, the plan is for Gattis to be at Corpus Christi for up to 10 days. The Hooks are on a 10-game homestand, and to catch roughly every other day. The plan is for him to catch 5 of those 10 games, maybe DH in 2 or 3 of them. High drive right field. Cano does it again. That is a no-doubter. Robbie Cano hits number 12 of the year.
I'm not sure why there's a notion that we're going to slip a fastball by this guy right now, but boy, he is red hot.
Well, he has a 13-game hitting streak against the Astros.
Little cutter up and in, off the plate. And maybe that's the thought. We'll come in off the plate and see how he handles that. But the response is maybe better than red hot, pink hot right now.
3-1 game. Kyle Seager with a first pitch curve takes it for strike one. Cano now has hit 5 homers and driven in 17 runs against the Astros while going 14 for 28. Seager yanks one foul. Cano has driven in 19 runs in his last 13 games. He leads the American League in both homers and runs batted in. 12 and 33 respectively. That's what he's done against the Astros, with quite a bit of his production against Houston. Foul ball keeps Seager alive at 0-2. The Mariners now have 42 homers. They lead the American League. They were tied with the Astros coming into this game today.
Well, I would be very convinced that on Cano you go down and away, and if he flips a single the other way on you, so be it.
1-2. Yeah, he's doing tons of damage. He now has 46 runs batted in for his career against the Astros in 56 games. That's his 9th career homer against the Astros, with a .364 average prior to this game. Altuve comes in for the grounder, tosses to Marwin Gonzalez, 1 out. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, the old saying in baseball, Ash, is that solo homers don't beat you, right?
Yeah, one doesn't beat you if you have a 3-0 lead at the time, but those home runs put runs on the board very quickly, don't they?
As we saw last night, Seattle 3, Houston 2, Seattle 3 solo homers. Sometimes they do beat you.
So that old saying is possibly a fallacy?
Yeah, it can be fallacious depending upon the game. Seth Smith takes a look at strike one. He popped the second.
If you can't believe in old slogans, anarchy.
Solo homers don't beat you some of the time.
Except when they do.
Except when they do. Correa over to Marwin Gonzalez, 2 outs. And now Adam Lynn. But the point being, McHugh just allowed the solo homer leading off the inning, and now he's come back to get 2 outs after that. So he's regrouped quite well. Adam Lynn singled to right field in the second inning. Well, you mentioned the minor league report there. You told us about Evan Gattis and Lance McCullers. Max Stassi has been reinstated from the 15-day DL. He was on that assignment at AAA Fresno, and he has now been optioned to AAA Fresno. So no longer on the disabled list, but now on the AAA Fresno club, active, not rehabbing. Max has had to work his way back from hamate bone surgery on the left hand. He was in Florida for a while waiting for that bone to heal. And usually it's a fairly simple surgery. They simply remove that bone, but still there's some downtime involved there, so the strength has to be rebuilt. The idea of catching, strength for that has to be rebuilt, and the hand strength to swing the bat. Apparently things going well though now for Max Stassi. That's ripped, and Marwin Gonzalez gets in front of it. He'll take it to first. 3 ground ball outs follow the Cano home run, and it's 3-1 Houston in the 4th.
3-1. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2016 Astros season tickets are on sale now. Enjoy some of the best seats at Minute Maid Park. Save money and receive great benefits throughout the season. Call 1-877-79-ASTROS now to reserve your seats. Brownie?
Thank you, Julia. Time for you to chat with Mom. As Tyler White bats. He had the RBI double in the 2nd inning. That's strike 1. Colin McHugh regrouped after the Cano homer to get 3 ground ball outs. Now the Astros leading by 2 have White, Castro, and Marisnick due up in their 4th inning. Tyler talking with the crew chief and home plate umpire Jeff Nelson. White fouls it away, and it's 0-2. You know, we talked earlier, we had a question about the umpiring crews, and they used to be together probably for years and years and years. There would be umpiring crews who stayed together. But now they all get vacation periods. They are promoted from the minor leagues, you know, 2-3 weeks at a time, something like that, maybe longer. And so there are many more umpires involved. And also the fact that there used to be National League umpires and American League umpires, and now they're all just Major League umpires, and they switch seamlessly between the 2 leagues. It's quite different than it was 20 years ago. Two balls and 2 strikes. Of course, the umpires do log many more travel miles than the players. They're never home. They're always on the road. And they travel commercially, make their own arrangements. So it's a very different life from the players. They are their own team. The 4 of those guys do stand up for each other. The same spot. This time it gets into the left field corner. White gets another double, and it's feeding time.
Oh, that's the guy I remember from the first couple of weeks of the season. You bet.
He's back.
Even Robinson Cano looked like he was impressed. Yeah, the only fear I have when I see him yanking balls down the left side is that he might get a little pull happy again, because I think it's back up the middle with his approach that serves him best.
And he's rammed those 2 balls hard near the left field line. 7th double of the year. Now Jason Castro has a man in scoring position. He grounded out in the 2nd to Cano. Cano ranging from his short right field position over to his right to get Castro first time up. And there's strike 1. The Astros have really been searching for that bottom of the order combination to give them some production. White out of the number 7 spot today with a pair of doubles, contributing in a large way to this game. That's 6 Houston hits off Iwakuma, who's at 70 pitches for the game. Bouncer right side, foul. 0-2. The Astros have a chance to deliver a knockout punch here on Iwakuma.
Yeah, you better make it a big punch, though. We've seen that Seattle can hit the long ball.
Yeah.
And, they can score quickly.
Sure, doesn't mean they can't regroup around their bullpen, which has been outstanding. Jake Marisnick's on deck. Just wondering about Max Stassi now that he's been activated from the disabled list and is on the Fresno roster. We might be seeing him in a few days. Castro's down on strikes. Julia?
Thanks, Brownie. Time for Geico quote of the day. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Men are what their mothers made them. It's a great, perfect quote for this Mother's Day. And, you know, we mentioned earlier that some of the players' moms in town got to throw out the first pitch. Teresa Keuchel, Dallas's mom, was one of them, and she told me before she threw out the first pitch, she wanted to go get the cleats. She wanted to head to the mound, get out there, dig in, and throw that first pitch. But look at her go. She almost made it.
Yeah.
And then Joyce Feldman, Scott's mom, told her to come back. She has a great sense of humor. And Joyce Feldman's mom said she practiced with a sock last night. They were playing catch in Feldman's living room as they prepared, and Lisa Tucker was very nervous. Just a really fun time for the guys and their mothers.
Nice. Foul back by Jake Marisnick, who's strike one on Jake. Teresa Keuchel. So she made him a Cy Young Award winner. That's what that quote meant, right?
That's right.
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
She also said, no pressure when your son wins the Cy Young, and then you have to throw out the first pitch. It was the first time she had done it, so it was a lot of fun.
Good stuff. And a good pregame ceremony also with the people out in center field gathering. Jake fouls it. It snowballs 2 strikes, and they gathered volunteers from Houston Methodist and the Rhodes organization formed a human pink ribbon on the field out in the outfield before the game, for the anthem. Can't remember who it was years ago, Ash, but they used to keep stats on one player who just always had big games on Mother's Day. They'd have his batting average, homers, and RBIs. He always just went off on Mother's Day. They can't remember who it was. 1 and 2.
Well, I've heard of different players who've had numbers like that. Yeah, guys, they talk about what they do on their birthday and everything. But yeah, that would be really cool on Mother's Day, Father's Day, where you can share it with a member of the family and enjoy it. I think Jake Marisnick could be that guy coming up in the near future.
He could be that guy. Everybody loved his commercial.
That was tight.
Iwakuma gets a punch out. That's number 6.
Yeah, apparently Julia Morales' mom enjoyed that commercial.
Oh, why not? Why not?
Of course she did.
They're clapping for Altuve. Altuve's 1 for 2 in this game. A line drive to right, an infield hit to third. Then he stole second. He stole third. And he came home on the bunt single by Colby Rasmus.
Mariners are no fools.
Ooh, get this. Intentional walk, and George Springer is paying a lot of attention to this.
Yeah, what I hope it does is just kind of light the fire for George a little bit. Not that it's not already lit, but at least intensify things.
First intentional walk to Altuve this season. Scott Service has spoken in glowing terms of Altuve, and here's the ultimate respect. Walking the leadoff man. So
I got you, buddy.
Yep. Well, that's a direct challenge to George Springer to try to make this backfire on Scott Service. He has struck out both times today, swinging in the first, looking in the third. Springer now 3 for 14 in his career against Iwakuma. Springer takes it this time, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, you're glad when that zone maybe does get squeezed up a little bit.
Astros hitting much better today with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That was only the second intentional walk to an Astro this year. The other belonged to Correa. One and 1 to Springer.
Watch the back foot. Just kind of hangs, and that leaves the back shoulder trailing back a little bit, and therefore bat under ball a lot of times.
Springer came into this game hitting .273 with runners in scoring position. The Astros 3 for 8 in these situations today. This time George looks more selective, and it's 2-1. Carlos Correa is on deck. Springer has something, apparently a contact lens popped out.
It fell out, he said, yeah.
And James Reddy's going to help out, trying to relocate that in his eye.
Let's go to our contact lens timeout.
This hasn't happened before with George while batting, has it?
I've never noticed it.
Wearing these soft lenses.
You were talking about Mother's Day and guys that have really done well. Dallas Braden, who's now doing a great job on TV.
Yeah.
He threw his perfect game, I believe, on Mother's Day.
That's true. He did. Yeah. And now Springer got that contact lens fixed, and he's coming back to the plate. We heard from somebody on Twitter who said, wasn't it Bill Hart? Don't remember a player named Bill Hart.
I've got Bill Hall, and I don't know if that is the same.
You know, that
same
might,
thing.
It might have been. I think it was Bill Hall with Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the infielder. That's who it was. He used to go crazy on Mother's Day. In the dirt, 3-1. Springer with the cagey delay of game to make Iwakuma wait, and now he's worked the count very favorably in his direction.
So you're saying that was a little bit crafty, huh?
Well, if Seattle's going to strategize with the intentional walk, why can't he strategize with the contact lens askew?
Very well played.
Three-two. Bill Hall.
He just said, I can't see.
Uh-oh. Well, this doesn't work then. They're going to have to. He's not calling timeout. This is not good.
Yeah, those comments he was making toward the Astros dugout were, I can't see.
Yeah, he should back out of the box and call time again and get that fixed. You can't see, you can't hit. Oh boy. And he saw that as ball 4, but instead it's strike 3. No runs, a hit. 2 men left. Was this in the zone or outside? Outside, but it's strike 3. Baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. Great day for the families on Mother's Day. Astros 3, Mariners 1 through 4 innings of play. Colin McHugh is waiting for inning number 5 to begin with AT HOU Lee in the on-deck circle. Now George Springer is late taking the field, so he must have gotten another contact lens or somehow resituated the one he had. He was saying that he could not see in that last at bat, and it really wouldn't have mattered because he got rung up on a pitch that was out of the zone.
Yeah, I think he could see well enough with the one eye to know that was not a strike.
So that's 7 punch outs now for Iwakuma. And Lee gets it going. He singled to right center field first time up. Marwin Gonzalez just as far as he can get towards second base. And there's strike 1 for Colin McHugh. That's the way they line up for Lee. Not a good swing for AT HOU, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
I can't even come up with anything I'm willing to throw out there.
Well, go ahead. Venture on out there. Go for it. Off the plate, or maybe, no, never mind. Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're moving on here.
Go for it, Brownie.
No. Wouldn't be prudent. McHugh has 12 of 16 first pitch strikes. We can be fine too, can't we? 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Apparently more so than others.
We had a question about the umpire supervisor now. It used to be Joe Torre, correct?
Oh yeah.
And yes, there are constant evaluations of umpires. And in fact, that's how they are now assigned to postseason series based on performance. So it's the best guys who work the postseason now. You are chuckling?
Well, I was just noticing a comment on Twitter that saying it would be a nice time for a LASIK commercial, but
okay. All right. That's hit hard, but Altuve has moved back over to his left, and that worked for round number 1. He was overshifted, and when the count got to 2 strikes, he came back the other way because last time up, Lee hit an 0-2 pitch right to that spot, and it was a hit.
yeah, really, pretty much that same stroke, wasn't it?
Yep. So that's an adjustment the Astros have made after that first at bat.
You know, we talk so much about Altuve, and rightly so, about his offense, but his defense he's turning himself into a legit Gold Glover.
Just a smart player. Last 6 Mariners have grounded out. Last 6 who have made outs anyway. There was a home run in there.
Jason Castro was shaking his head, and I imagine the comments were that was a strike, no it wasn't, and then a little shake of the head back. But
Marwin down on a knee. The ball was smacked pretty hard. Another ground ball out. We go to Julia.
Thanks, Brownie. Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Whether you're treating your employees, hosting clients, or celebrating a special occasion, we will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call the Astros Premium Ticket Line at 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserve your luxury suite today.
Is your dad here today, Julia?
No, just my mom.
Okay.
Are we here for Father's Day?
Haven't checked.
I'll have to look that up.
Right.
Get him down here.
Yeah. Leonis Martin hit a deep drive caught by George Springer on the warning track, leaping in front of the wall and right. There's strike 1 to him. Yeah, we have to get Victor here. He loves baseball. One ball, 1 strike. McHugh shooting for win number 4 of the season. Tomorrow night, the Cleveland Indians bring in the next series. It's Mike Fiers and Corey Kluber at 7:10 tomorrow night here. Cleveland, with that excellent pitching staff, will have Kluber, Trevor Bauer, and Danny Salazar working against Mike Fiers, Chris Davinsky, and Doug Fister. And the Astros hit the road. Wednesday game, a 1:10 start here. 3-1. That next trip is to Boston and Chicago, and both of those clubs are looking good. Boston's only a half game out of the lead in the AL East, and the Chicago White Sox, you were telling me, have the best winning percentage in the American League.
2 teams have more than 20 wins in the major leagues. They're both in Chicago.
McHugh gets strike 2 on a swinging Martin. White Sox are 21-10. Okay, we're home on Father's Day against Cincinnati, Julia, so Victor is going to be right here on Father's Day.
Well, he's probably listening, so now we've just promised him a trip.
Yeah.
We'll have to deliver.
Promised him a trip, and we have caused him to cancel other obligations that he may have made. But that's okay.
He won't mind a bit, Julia, as you book the tickets and take care of all of that.
Right.
We'll all chip
Absolutely.
in. We'll get him here somehow.
It'll be great.
Yeah. First full count of the game for Colin McHugh. That was a cute little kid in the upper deck. Ball 4 to Martin. That's 8 walks for Colin this season in about 32 innings. Very manageable number. Aoki has grounded out both times today.
He's had one flaw that crops up on Colin time and time again. He'll miss on his arm side. That fastball just runs away.
He has 9 ground ball outs in this game. The Mariners are 12-9 within the American League West Division. The Astros 3-9. So they know they have to make a major move in order to get to where they want to go. And this month of May will be possibly a defining month for them after they just really struggled so much in April. And there are signs of May bringing a lot better results. Pretty close there at first. They're 4-3 to start the month of May, but that upcoming schedule we have talked about will create the need for them to play really good baseball. Martin is a base stealer. It's a foul ball, but his club is down by 2 here in the 5th inning with 2 outs. He's 5 for 6 in stolen bases. Colin made his Astros debut in Seattle April 22nd, 2014. He won that game. And he pitched shutout ball for 6 2/3 innings with no walks and 12 strikeouts. So that's the way he broke in with the Astros after being claimed on waivers. And for a strike, 0-2 to Aoki. And McHugh has really pitched well here.
Pinch in a piece of that baseball in the zone, you got a strike.
Colin with the Astros is 33-19 with a 3.62 ERA and 63 starts. Line left field. That's a hit in front of Rasmus, who was shading him very close to the left field line to hold him to a single. Aoki with a 2-strike hit keeps the inning alive for Marte, and then Cano's on deck.
This reminded me a bit of a long time ago left-hand hitting batting champ Matty Alou.
Yeah.
One of the fantastic Alou brothers.
That caused a problem later for the Houston Astros. In fact, we'll have to explain that one. Marte is 0 for 2. Harry Walker was in Pittsburgh, and Harry Walker later became the manager of the Astros and wanted everybody to hit like Matty Alou.
Even the power hitters, yeah.
Ball 1 to Marte.
It's kind of that mentality that sometimes people will come up with. Well, it's good enough for this guy. Why not for everybody?
And didn't he want everybody to use the same bat that Matty Alou used?
Probably not. He used one of those barrel bats, didn't he?
Altuve fields the one hopper. On over to Mullen. No runs a hit. 2 men left. Middle of the 5th inning. 3-1 Astros.
At the bottom of the 5th inning, Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Let's see who's been doing it most recently against Seattle. At least lifetime. Marwin Gonzalez leads that list. How about that? George Springer, Luis Valbuena, and Jose Altuve on the list. Valbuena hit number 8 against Seattle in last night's game, a game tire. And this was a big one at the moment. And that earned a little bat flip and a little hop coming out of the box.
Carlos Correa now looking at ball 1. Home 5th underway. 3-1 Astros. Correa lined to third. He walked, stole a base, and scored. He fouls that one for a 1-1 count with Iwakuma staying in this game, and the Astros have left 5 on base through the first 4. The Chicago White Sox with a 21-10 record. They have the best winning percentage in the AL at .677. Seattle's second best at .600. Hit hard to short. Marte one out. We'll have a battle of the shortstops the next 3 games with Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor of Cleveland, 2 of the best young shortstops around.
Boy, there are some good young ones. Nobody talks about this kid Marte, but I'm rather impressed.
Yes. Yeah, he goes under the radar. He's done some very good things in this series. Colby Rasmus put down that 2-strike 2-out bunt for a single to drive in a run. He's 1 for 2. Dodgers lead at Toronto 3-2. They're in the top of the 9th right now. Both those clubs are playing .500 ball. Clayton Kershaw won a game at Toronto yesterday. Colby with a high foul ball gets him waiting in the upper deck for that one.
There was a lot of pink barrel dropped on this baseball.
That's an unexpected pleasure. When they picked out those seats, do you think they thought they had a chance?
No doubt about it, hon. I'm going to get you a couple of balls up here.
Yeah, right, pal.
I was wrong about the pink barrel, wasn't I?
You were wrong.
I made the assumption that
2 the count.
Imagine Colby going against trends.
Yeah, well, he sure did with that 2-strike 2-out bunt. Peterson hit his 6th home run for the Dodgers, leading 3-2 at Toronto in the 9th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cleveland is up on Kansas City 5-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Cleveland. And the Indians will be making the long trip here. Mike Napoli hit his 6th homer. Carlos Santana, number 5 for the Tribe. Tomlin started the game. That's a punch out, and it's number 8 for Iwakuma.
It's a little cut job working down and in. Colby had a recent 4 strikeout game, and that pitch got him at least a couple of times in that one.
Marwin Gonzalez singled through a wide open left side except for Seager, and that's the way the Mariners continue to play it on Marwin, but he burned them as they were in that shift with the RBI single in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Kansas City got a homer from Eric Hosmer today, but has lost Mike Moustakas to the disabled list now. Royals appearing a little vulnerable. And they're at 15-14 while the Indians are 14-13. Both have been left in the wake of that White Sox team you talked about at 21-10.
They are all about the pitching to this point.
Cubs and White Sox. Line drive, right field corner. Marwin will have extra bases. Smith digs it out. Stop sign from Gary Pettis. A double with 2 outs for Gonzalez. 2 for 3.
You know what? During recent games, a couple guys are up in their stock once again. Marwin Gonzalez, one of those guys, and of course, Great White. Tyler White has been swinging the bat much better. So some guys kind of coming back to normalcy a bit. It's getting on it pretty quickly there.
That's the 4th double for the Astros today of their 7 hits. Luis Valbuena got that first double of the day for Houston. He went to right center, and he came home on a White double. Marwin's now 10 for 19 against Iwakuma in his career. Foul for strike 1. Texas leads at Detroit 7-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rangers trail Seattle by a game and a half. Brad Ausmus and his Detroit club trying to snap out of the doldrums, slipping to 14-15. Justin Verlander pitched very well today, though. 7 shutout innings. This one gets by the catcher Clevenger, and Gonzalez advances to 3rd.
By the way, just a note on what you just mentioned about Verlander. He's now 2nd on the all-time strikeout list for the Tigers.
Oh, okay. Wow. Rule the wild pitch, Ash.
I didn't get a real good glimpse of that one, but the Astros need to find a way to take advantage.
Verlander left with a 2-0 lead, but things exploded on the Tigers with a 7-run 8th for Texas. To center field. Martin. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left at 3rd after 5. Houston leads it 3-1.
going to baseball tournaments out of state. There was one specifically my dad was working. We had like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old travel ball team tournament in Arizona, and my mom took me, and we went for the weekend in Arizona, and she came to all the games, stood out and watched us in the heat in Arizona, and it's been great to have both of my parents as supportive as they have been.
The Castro family, 3-1. The Astros lead the Mariners. We go to the 6th inning. Colin McHugh has allowed a Robinson Cano homer in the 4th and 3 other singles. He's walked 1. He leads it 3-1 with Cano coming up for a 3rd time. Cano hit a fly ball to center field in his first at bat, and he has just been nothing but danger to the Houston Astros this season. This is the 7th game between these two teams this year, and he's driven in 17 runs. Ball 1. In that Ranger-Tiger game, 7-2 Texas, all 7 runs coming in the 8th inning as the bullpen blew up on Brad Ausmus. Justin Wilson, Mark Lowe giving up those 7 runs. Lowe gave up 5 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. It's 1-1. And for a strike, 1-2.
Paint it like that, and you're not going to see many balls hit out of the yard.
No, sir. Question on Twitter about Colby's bunt. Was it a safety squeeze? No, it was not. He went and struck out. Out number 1.
There is a way to get him out. Uncle Charlie shows up, and that's a swing. Even if your name is Robinson Cano.
Second strikeout for Colin McHugh. Kyle Seager is 0 for 2. No, it wasn't a safety squeeze. There were 2 outs in the inning and 2 strikes, so he was bunting for a hit. In a squeeze bunt, he would have been willing to give up himself to score the run, but he had to make it safe at first base for the inning to continue, so that was not a squeeze. Ball 1 to Seager. Foul back, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And we have a question from Jeff Elliott. Since we're talking umpires, what's the latest talk about eventually automating calls of balls and strikes being tested overseas? Ash?
What's the latest talk?
Yeah,
well,
let's talk.
Okay. I would say don't look for it anytime soon in a theater near you.
Line drive to center and a hit. Or Marisnik just gets such good jumps. He was moving, but too much of a risk to come in and try to catch that. And Seager is aboard. Julia?
Thanks, Brownie. Want to get a special gift for the Astros fan in your life? The Houston Astros commemorative brick paver program gives you the opportunity to have your special message become a permanent part of Minute Maid Park. Your message will become or welcome hundreds of Astros fans that enter the ballpark. Visit astros.com/bricks for more details.
Yeah, you need a brick. So you can come back 20 years from now.
I'll give you a brick right here. The umpires have a union, and it's pretty strong.
Yes, it is. Very strong. Seth Smith is 0 for 2. So are we going to see computers calling balls and strikes? No, we're not. So it's being tested overseas. Where is it being tested?
You lost me on that one.
Okay.
Apparently somewhere that's been off my radar.
Well, I don't think the Food and Drug Administration would ever allow balls and strikes being called.
I've been reading everything they've been putting out, and I haven't seen that.
1 ball and 1 strike by computers. No, I hate to see the human element taken out of the game, even though now, as we can see with all the strike zones up on the TV screens, there are many questions that people have.
You know, I wouldn't really be offended at the human element taken out of the strikes, you know, calling of balls and strikes. But then again, I just hate to see all the mistakes going on constantly, and it's not like it's a brand new thing. It's been there forever.
And somebody earlier asked on Twitter, are the umpires graded? Well, yes, they are evaluated constantly. They're given DVDs when they're home plate umpire of the game they umpired, so they can go back and check their calls.
For those reenactments of bad calls.
And I think there's an acceptable range of pitches for them to miss. You know, if it's a 300 pitch game, there's a certain number in there that they're allowed to miss, because there are so many borderline calls during a game. You'll see them up on the screen. Did it barely touch the strike zone, or was it out?
Those don't bother me. When I see a strike called on a ball that's just a fraction off of the strike zone, it doesn't bother me at all.
Struck out Smith.
What bothers me is when I see a baseball entirely within that window of the strike zone called a ball, or pitches like the one on George Springer completely out of the box called a strike. Again, that curveball comes through for Colin. Hasn't really had one of those strikeout afternoons.
That's 3-2 in this inning. Adam Lind steps up. Lind is 1 for 2.
It's the flagrants that bother me.
Yeah. Strike one. And we had another question. Are umpires ever disciplined? Yes, they are. They can be fined, but that is not released publicly, so we never know about it. They could even be suspended. 0-2. But here's something important. They cannot be sent down to the minor leagues. If they're hired as major league umpires. Now, if they're fill-in umpires, in other words, there have been very few umpires hired in the last 30 years, because what happens is umpires are promoted from the minor leagues to work for a while, and then they go back down, but they're not hired permanently. Struck him out, and that is a big 6th inning for Colin McHugh, striking out the side. 3-1 Astros.
Is presented by authority of Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
3-1, this Mother's Day crowd enjoying this Astros Seattle Mariners game. It moves to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we have a pitching change.
And the game summary, by the way, brought to you by DeMontron. 3-1 Astros on top. 7 hits for Houston today. And Seattle's only run scoring on a home run. You guessed it. It was Robinson Cano. But the Astros have played a little small ball, and some fine pitching by Colin McHugh has them on top.
Michael Guaipe comes out of the bullpen. In 3 games, he has no decisions with a 5.79 ERA facing Tyler White, who has a pair of doubles up and in from Guaipe. Ball 1. White has been ripping the ball to left field today.
And there's good reason right there to have that fall back and the head flying out of there. But only on a pitch like that.
And of course, the next one's down and away, and it's 2-0. Guaipe worked the 6-3 Houston win on Friday night, and he gave up 2 runs in 3 innings. Carlos Correa had an RBI single off him. Drops that one in for a strike to make it 2-1 on Tyler White. Guaipe has had a .316 batting average against him in his brief time with the Mariners this year. 4 2/3 innings total for the 25-year-old from Barcelona, Venezuela. Popped up Adam Lynn's way. He gives way. Robinson Cano. 1 down. Jason Castro follows. He's 0 for 2.
I wonder if Cano gets as nervous as it appears on these pop flies.
He's kind of the Perry Como of the infield. Very casual.
Yeah, that might slip by a few people, but yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, a few people who have only been around for 4 or 5 decades. Castro has grounded out and struck out. Perry Como was a popular singer back in his day. He wore those alpaca sweaters, Ash. Remember that?
He was the Jake Marisnik of his day.
He really was. That's ball 1. What did he sing? Amore?
You're going to put me out on a limb I really shouldn't get on.
Well, you're the musical guy.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
He and Eddie Vedder, I think, combined on some real standards down through the years. No. 2 balls, no strikes. Perry had his own TV show, and he was just so casual. Good singer, though. Very popular at the time. Back when music was music, Ash.
There you go. Used to play with a guy. Oscar Gamble used to say that. Well, and I'll tell you in a moment.
All right. First of all, this fly ball to Martin. What did Oscar say?
So he would just always say that sort of thing. That's when baseball was baseball, or that's when Ruth was Ruth, when he'd hit a long home run, you know, and so
yeah.
It was always that kind of commentary.
Okay.
Oscar Gamble was the guy with all that great stuff.
Yeah, he was the guy with all the hair, right?
Yeah, he had a little bit of hair going.
He used to pull his cap down over all that growth of hair. And was there ever a Chia Gamble?
I think that's where the Chia Pet actually emanated from.
Okay.
But it was Oscar who came up with the comment about Nolan Ryan seeing the marquee outside of the stadium there in Anaheim. Nolan Ryan versus so-and-so tonight, and Oscar hollered at one of his teammates, "Hey, Charlie, good night tonight's 0 for 4, and don't get hit in the head."
No balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Nolan's here this homestand. We had a really good conversation last night. Fly ball going foul out of play. Still 0-2. And the shortstop comes in to talk. Marte to Guaipe.
Looking for Jake Marisnik to find himself. Just been a real quiet start with the bat. He's so gifted in other areas defensively and on the base paths.
Well, he said the last few games at AAA Fresno, he started to feel a lot better at the plate. He had not had very many at-bats with the Astros when he went down, and at first he struggled. said he was playing center field every day, with the exception that Tony DeFrancesco, the manager at Fresno, moved him to right field for one game for a few innings and then back to center. Just anticipating that he might be able to benefit from a little experience at one of the corner spots, because the job of a AAA manager is to get players ready for the big leagues, and it might be that it's not necessarily what their plan would be for their AAA club, but what is planned for this guy when he gets back.
That kind of decision is made generally in concert with the major league club. I can't see right field being where Jake would slot in here unless George were to get hurt again, and let's not let that happen.
No. Struck him out. That's a 1-2-3 6th, and 3-1 Houston through 6.
3-1. We go to the top of the 7th, and time for our Chevy Stroh poll winner announcement. Thanks to all who voted. It was our favorite Carlos Correa catch. That was the question today, and you picked the 7th inning bases loaded Friday night grab. Here it is, Friday night. These Mariners in town. Chris Iannetta lines one. He has to go way to his right here, making a great play with the bases loaded, freezing all runners, saving some serious runs there. Carlos Correa continues to impress us daily. Thanks for voting, guys.
Yeah, that was a good question.
That was a heck of a catch, too.
Boy.
But he's made some gems. That happens to be on the recent radar, and it was as good as they come.
Dae-Ho Lee turns away from that curveball inside. There's ball one. Lee is 1 for 2 in this game. He's hit the ball twice to the right of second base. Altuve is overshifted to the left of second base now. In for a strike, 1-2. But we've seen from the last time up that if the count goes to 2 strikes on Lee, Altuve will move back over to that other side of second base.
Ronnie, you have prompted chatter on Twitter now, but things like Catch a Falling Star, Moon River, Hot Siggity.
Barry Como.
Yes.
He did not sing Amore, we're told. That was Dean Martin's song. Yeah, it was, but just about everybody sang Amore.
Iggy Stardust.
Now Altuve's back over with 2 strikes. He's back on the first base side again. And it's a strikeout. No fielders needed for Colin McHugh. That's strikeout number 5. He has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters.
And that curveball is a big part of this strikeout barrage all of a sudden.
Well, he did need the catcher, didn't he?
Catcher is always way more than instrumental.
It's really difficult pitching without a catcher back there.
Okay, so I was asked the question, where did the term Uncle Charlie come from? And I have no answer.
Yeah, not sure we have an answer. Clevenger's 0 for 2. Strike 1. This will be the 100th pitch coming up for McHugh. Uncle Charlie. Big curveball. Where do you think it came from?
I'm going to consult with Google.
We will just have to make up the answer to that one. And that would not be the 400th time we've done that. It's way more than that. It's been around forever, right? There's Uncle Charlie. Here's my philosophy on where Uncle Charlie came from.
Philosophies don't count in this, Brownie.
You're right. Okay, here's my guess. No hitter likes Uncle Charlie like that, the way Colin throws it, right?
No, I wouldn't think so.
So then my theory on how that pitch got the name Uncle Charlie is Uncle Charlie would be that guy who shows up every Tuesday night for dinner, right? Whether you like it or not.
And whether he's your Uncle Charlie or not, right?
He may not even
He
be
just
related.
becomes known in the family as Uncle Charlie.
He's just outside your door waiting for dinner every Tuesday
Lord
night.
Charles was another name. As I'm kind of perusing through this, I remember teammates calling it Lord Charles.
Mm-hmm. Formal name. Back to Colin McHugh. Good glove work. 2 outs. Let's see what else is going on this Mother's Day. Well, there's Teresa McHugh with Colin.
Colin did not have a good Uncle Charlie at that time.
And we saw Teresa earlier throwing out that first pitch to Dallas.
Really glad to see that Dallas was shaving those days.
Check out Dallas, yeah, with the tie and clean shaven. That's a Dallas we have not seen in a while.
Bet he was 8 months old when he first needed to break out the razor.
Martin hit a deep drive caught by Springer. Now he's trying to bunt his way on. And it's a foul ball, strike one. Then he walked his second time up. Out of the family photo albums. Yeah, those are good shots to look at. Chris Sale has become the first to 7 wins in the American League by shutting down the Twins yesterday. And he has the early bid in for the Cy Young Award as of May 8th. In the air, Castro coming over, and here's Marwin Gonzalez, but it's back in the seats. Chris Sale 7-0 with a 179. Moustakas fractured thumb on the DL. The Braves are 1-14 at home, and Garrett Richards is headed for Tommy John surgery. Boy, it's been a rough year for the Angels with injuries. C.J. Wilson will miss the season. That's been known since spring training, and Andrew Haney hasn't been able to pitch.
Dollar Dog Night, maybe not a big hit in Atlanta this year.
Ooh. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Atlanta will be moving into a new stadium next year.
It's a nice part of town too. Is that the north side of town?
I believe it's, yeah. Let's see, their AAA club's been in Gwinnett. I think it's in that area somewhere. Will Harris and Tony Sipp are warming up for Houston. Luke Gregerson has pitched 3 games in a row, and we do not expect to see him. Colby Rasmus going over.
Yes.
That's 5 straight retired by Colin McHugh. He takes it through 7, still looks strong. So we'll see how much the bullpen does come into play, if at all, as we join in the singing of God Bless America.
The afternoon tradition here at Minute Maid Park. We kindly ask that you please rise now and join us as we take pause, not only to honor our great nation, but to thank and salute those who defend our freedom around the world each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jim Sikorsky and join him in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God
On the 7th inning, Playing to Win is brought to you by Toyota Tundra. Colin McHugh's night, and it has been a really good one. Day ball game, whatever. We call it night games all the time. But he has just breezed through this game, pitched very well. That curveball showing up. Uncle Charlie, Lord Charles here in the last couple of innings, picking up some strikeouts, 5 of them. And Colin really had it going right toward the end. So through 7 innings, Colin McHugh has put the Astros in a great spot to pick up a win and even this series.
Big day for Colin McHugh, and the Astros lead at 3-1 coming up here in the home 7th inning. Jose Altuve, the batter. He fouls it, strike 1 for Michael Guaipe with lefty Mike Montgomery in the bullpen. Altuve has an infield single, 2 steals, an intentional walk, and a run scored. Nationals lead the Cubs 3-1 in the top of the 6th at Wrigley. Tanner Roark on the mound against Jake Arrieta. In for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Altuve. Arrieta in 5 innings allowed 2 earned runs, and he's now out of the game for Chicago. Springer and Correa to follow in the Astros 7th. Pumped out to left center field. In for a hit. Altuve with a single. 2 for 3.
The only time they've retired him today might have been the hardest hit ball he's had, a line drive to right field. But Altuve's swinging it quite well. And maybe now that running game comes into play again.
28,148 the paid attendance on this Mother's Day. Altuve now has 40 hits this season. This is game number 32 for the Astros. George Springer is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 2 of those were called third strikes. Correa on deck. Altuve takes off. Big jump. Not nearly in time, and on through into center field. He's going to third. Martin with a throw, not in time. Third stolen base of the day, and then add in a Clevenger error, his second, and Altuve's at third.
13 bags on the year now. That curveball really set up a decent chance to be able to throw to second base. They weren't going to get him. Just gets it in gear so rapidly. Closest pursuer, Jacoby Ellsbury at 9 bags.
Altuve now leads the majors with 13, 3 of them today, and the infield comes in now that he's reached third with 1 out, with nobody out in the inning, and Springer with an 0-1 count. Foul ball makes it 0-2.
That kind of offense may not be as instant as the home run ball, but it's pretty instant what Altuve provides even this way.
Potentially a very big run here at third base for the Astros. Tony Sipp continues in the bullpen. The 3 steals for Altuve tie a career high in 1 game. Springer looks at it. It's 1-2. Gives the Astros as a team 4 stolen bases today. They have out-hit the Mariners 8-5. No errors in the game today until the Clevenger throw. In tight. 1-2. The Astros with a win would pull to within 6.5 of the Mariners, and they don't meet again for months. Ground ball short and on through. Marte failed to come up with it. It's 4-1 Houston.
You take him any way you can get him. Very tentative swing for George. You mentioned the 3 strikeouts today. Just don't feel like he's seeing it in the normal fashion.
6th error for Ketel Marte. No RBI. Altuve was not breaking on the batted ball. So 2 errors in the inning now, and the Astros have cashed in. 1 run home, another man at first base, nobody out for Carlos Correa, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Mariners now have made 21 errors this season. They've allowed 13 unearned runs prior to this inning. They've certainly pitched very well this season, but the Astros cashing in on a couple of mistakes defensively here. And they made some things happen in this game. They started by playing some small ball in the 3rd inning. Altuve got the infield hit, stole second, stole third, came home on a bunt single with 2 outs and 2 strikes by Colby Rasmus. Springer takes off, and he will make it easily as the ball gets by the catcher Clevenger. Low-bridge Correa. Pitch up around his head. 1-1.
Well, it has been kind of that speed game, the small ball game for the Astros offensively today. And thank your lucky stars, this does not hit George.
Well, Guaipe almost hit Tyler White.
Yeah.
Last inning too.
Or Carlos Correa, excuse me.
Yeah. So now 1-1, and he's missed poorly up and in. About head high twice now. 5 steals for the Astros. Ground ball goes foul, 1-2. Not a good place to miss, though, up around that head area. That'll get the attention of some people on the other side.
What do you mean by the other side?
First base side dugout.
Had some concerns there for a moment.
Exactly. Ground ball hit. Springer around third, coming to the plate. Martin with a throw, and he comes in and scores the run head first. 5-1 on the RBI single by Correa.
Nice, affordable insurance.
Springer, who had the 5th Astros steal of the day, then came home.
Yeah, it has kind of been one of those days where we've had a bunt single to drive in a run. That came with 2 strikes, by the way, and 2 outs. And the stolen bases have impacted the offense. Obviously an error here in the inning. It's not typical Astros baseball all the way, but sure looks nice with that score.
And that score is 5-1. We'll be right back.
Lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Astros batting away. This moment in history is presented by MD Anderson. May 8th, 1992. Butch Henry at the plate. You know what's coming next, right? That's Let's watch an inside-the-park home run off of Doug Drabek, by the way. That's Barry Bonds, the slender Barry Bonds. Can't get to it. This one in the corner. Luis Gonzalez, a very slender Luis Gonzalez scoring. And then you're going to see Butch Henry take it all the way. A close play, bang, bang at the plate, and he's in there. The inside-the-park dinger. That's kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. Mike Montgomery 1-0 with a 2.93 ERA. Comes in to face Colby Rasmus, who's 1 for 3, an RBI single on a bunt. There's strike one. Two runs home in this inning, a 4-run lead for Houston. And the Astros would love to break it open here. Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Foul ball makes it 0-2. Correa's RBI was his 16th of the season. Well, we have some explanations, and thanks to those of you who sent us these explanations for Uncle Charlie. One of them is the curves of the letters C. And, well, let's see, there was a U, but that's not in Charlie, right? So we're still...
Okay.
We're still searching, although we did have something that it'll take us a while to wade through this, but a lengthy document has been sent to us explaining.
Get your lawyer in here and read through it first.
Uncle Charlie, also known as Lord Charles or Sir Charles, is a curveball, a pitch that veers away as it nears the batter. Dixon dates the first use of Uncle Charlie to 1935 in a column by Walter Winchell in the Havana Evening Telegram.
Walter Winchell was nightly on the Serious News, evening news, right?
Yeah. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that's all good and fine what you've explained so far, but how did it also become known as a yacker with that as the information?
Not sure about that. We don't have any information on yacker. Rasmus takes a walk. Correa to second base for Gonzalez.
I recall Nolan Ryan referring to his curveball as an anaconda at one time. I'm not sure how that got in there either.
Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 3 with an RBI. And then there are more Perry Como songs. High Hopes, Catch a Falling Star.
Can you hum a few bars?
Sure. Ave Maria.
All of that goes back to Robinson Cano catching a pop fly.
In case you were wondering, and everybody was. Fly ball left field. Towering foul ball into Keuchel's corner.
Not many beards remaining down there.
No. They'll be back though. Dallas is going on the road, but we'll check that next homestand. I believe it's a pretty long one, Ash. So Keuchel's corner will be back. There's a toss to Cano. And on to Lynn from Marte for a double play. Correa taking third.
We talked about Cano and the casual catch of pop flies. Take a look at this turn on the double play that was set up routinely. Runners are scared to death to come into second on a guy like Cano, and especially Cano. That submarine toss of his will take you right out of the base path immediately.
Luis Valbuena has a double in 3 trips. There's strike one. After the 3-game series with Cleveland coming up, Dallas Keuchel will not be pitching in that one. The Astros are gone for a week. And then they're back here on May 20th for 3 with the Rangers, and 24th for the 26th with Baltimore. Cano goes out Valbuena. And the Astros come up with 2 in the 7th on 2 hits with 2 errors and a man left. They lead it 5-1.
5-1. We move to the top of the 8th. Three-time Grammy Award-winning Zac Brown Band is bringing their Blackout the Sun tour to Minute Maid Park on Saturday, August 13th. Buy your tickets at astros.com/Zac Brown Band. Browning.
Don't be truculent. Saturday, August 13th, the Zac Brown Band. Thanks, Julia. Howard Cosell famously using that word on the air. Tony Sipp comes in after 7 strong innings for Colin McHugh. Tony's 0-2 with a 5.06 ERA, Ash.
Don't be dropping any Dandy Don-isms on me, okay?
No.
Yeah, Tony Sipp back in the fold, and he needs to get on a run, too.
He throws strike 1. Aoki got a single into left field in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. Colin McHugh in 7 innings allowed 5 hits, 1 run, walking 1, fanning 5. Excellent day for Colin. That's just off the plate. 1-1. Or was it?
Better looking than some we've seen called.
Yeah. McHugh threw 108 pitches, 75 were strikes. Michael Guaipe in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 1 strikeout. Tony Sipp was just away and welcomed a baby daughter into the world. Just spent 1 day away on paternity leave. And the Astros really have used him in this series with all these left-handed hitters for the Mariners. Sipp pitched 1 inning last night and was the losing pitchers. Robinson Cano homered off him in the 10th. And he strikes out Aoki.
By the way, I kind of like this Astros lid today. It looks like one that is a must-add to the collection.
It is.
Watch this breaking ball. It's really a hanger, but 3 of them hung right up there in that sequence. But great pitches when you get outs with them, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's where you want to pitch, Aoki.
Could prove to be the case.
Ketel Marte is 0 for 3. Sipp pitching for the 3rd time in this 4-game series. And he was away that 1 day we talked about. There's ball 1. Cano's on deck.
What's up?
Baltimore Orioles are having a big day with homers. They've hit 6. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So the first pitch was called a ball. You see it was in the strike zone, and this one is equally so.
Marte goes to 1-2.
Fooled me once.
Perry Como also recorded hit songs "It's Impossible" and "Papa Loves Mambo." Ash.
You are a font, you know that?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to folks on Twitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Full disclosure going on here.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, you're right. It's an election year.
How did the 2 of those meet?
Not sure how that married up. Soft pop. Castro with the catch. 2 down.
Ball did a little dance move there in the glove.
It sure did. Papa Loves Mambo right there.
I think it's Julia that loves Mambo.
Yeah,
she needs to break it out.
She could dance the Mambo.
Watch this ball hit glove. Well, you can't see it there. All systems secure.
Evan Gaddis caught that pop-up we saw earlier. Hey, they brought their own frame. Suitable for framing anybody.
Very nice.
Cano ripped a homer in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. A.J. Hinch was kidding during his media session. He said, "I'll buy him a first-class ticket out of town. He needs to go do some damage against somebody else." Well, it used to be Albert Pujols against the Astros and many other teams, right? This year, Robinson Cano has to be Astros nemesis #1.
If I'm not mistaken, his career numbers, were they lacking prior to this year against Houston?
Yeah, he's 364.
Oh, okay, they weren't lacking. No, they were lacking the 400 mark.
Yeah.
Breaking ball just kind of bends enough to be called a strike.
0-2 to Cano. Yeah, 9 career homers for Cano against the Astros. 46 runs batted in 56 games. That's a good clip. Not for Houston. 1-2.
The fact of the matter is he's got numbers over his career that are going to add up in 4 or 5 years to Hall type numbers.
Yeah, he has hurt a lot of teams, including the Astros. Pops it up. Castro off of the mask. Fields another pop up. Tony Sepp has a 1-2-3-8, and the Astros lead at 5-1. On Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Let's go with Jose Altuve and do some base running. He has stolen 3 bases today. He's the major league leader with 13. That's been a big part of what the Astros have done in building this lead. He has scored 2 of their runs, returning to the leadoff spot today. Now Steve Johnson is pitcher number 4.
By the way, the question occurs to me, Brownie, as Steve Johnson has loosened it up here for the 8th inning. Do the Astros, or any team for that matter, have the option of wearing the pink attire in any games that are upcoming?
No. I think it's simply a Mother's Day outfit, and that is it. But you bring up a point of, well, what if you have a good game and the whole team does well? Tyler White looks at strike 1. White has 2 doubles.
I would think that temptation could certainly be there right now.
It could. Too bad, but this is the only time you'll see it this year. No balls, 2 strikes. Steve Johnson makes his 2nd appearance in this 4-game series. He worked in the 6-3 Houston win Friday night, an inning and a third, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in that game. He punches out White for out number 1. Jason Castro is next. Castro 0 for 3.
Kind of made that at bat look futile for Tyler White, but a good day for Tyler with a couple of doubles.
Diamondbacks and Braves are in the 10th, tied at 3. Pirates lead the Cardinals 8-5 at the end of 7. Marisnick's on deck. That's strike one. Well, we'd certainly like to wish all the moms a happy Mother's Day. It's been special for you. Very meaningful day. 1-1. The Angels are trailing the Rays 3-1. They're in the top of the fifth in Anaheim. Nick Tropiano pitching. It's 1-2. Do most people go out for Mother's Day brunch or dinner?
Yeah, it's a good question. We're going to do a little, I think, at the house, maybe backyard version this evening.
Oh, that's perfect.
So that sounds good.
You bet.
How about you?
Headed down south to be with some friends tonight.
Oh, so you're gonna break away, huh?
Yeah. But now you will be off the next couple nights. Well, the next series you're off.
Yep.
You'll be back for travel on Wednesday, but
yeah, Wednesday listed as off day.
Jeff Blum is coming in.
That's correct.
Julia's back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and so have a good time.
Yeah, thanks.
Get out there and do a lot of cooking, because you don't have to restrict yourself to today being Mother's Day.
No restrictions at all, huh?
No.
Yeah, I'll make sure and take all that advice home with me tonight.
What is your favorite meal to prepare?
Goodness, you know what? We kind of have a little family fave. Just tostadas, but they are not your typical tostada. They are good stuff.
Okay.
I guess that's why we keep doing them over and over.
Got the special flair for tostadas. Good.
It's called French cuisine.
Okay, French cuisine. Just didn't realize that. 3-2. See, we're learning things all the time here about food and songs and dancing.
See if you can find some of that down south.
No, not happening. Struck him out. Julia.
Thanks, Brownie. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to @ThatPremium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
We will do it.
Julia's mom's not the only big fan of Jake Marisnick.
No, a lot of Jake fans. Jake's 0 for 3. Fouls it back. There's strike one.
Good swing.
Well, he had a football helmet on a few hours ago. Football helmet with the pregame session with George Springer, catching a few passes.
Looked like they went scoreless, but that only means good defense, right?
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jake has the Oregon helmet. Is that correct?
That's what it appeared to be. They need to get J.J. Watt out here and see how that football program works out with the real big boys.
1-2. Well, JJ's coming out for his charity softball classic. Maybe he could stop by.
We've got a date on that, huh? And
we have a date.
I've got to see him down at the cage.
Oh, he's fun. He can make some contact. And he makes loud noises.
I guess so.
He's good at hitting people and things. Here we have it. Next Saturday, May 14th, Ash.
Wait a minute now. Next Saturday?
Yeah, the club is on the road. So
oh, that's not right.
Well, he has to have the stadium to use.
Oh, there's always pre-batting practice.
Well, you're right.
That's bad timing.
But he's going to have the whole stadium.
He needs the whole stadium.
Lind over for the catch. We go to the 9th inning, 5-1 Astros. In the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. It was 1-0 Astros in the third, 1 out. Jose Altuve tapped the ball to third. Kyle Seager couldn't get him. Infield hit Altuve. Altuve stole second. He's the major league leader in steals. That's one of his 3 steals. He stole third. They made no attempt to get him. And then with 2 outs and 2 strikes, it's not a Colby Jack, it's a Colby Jill. An RBI bunt single. And then Marwin Gonzalez followed with a single through the left side. So we go to the 9th now, and it is 5-1. The Astros lead it. Altuve, a central figure. He's moving around in the shift for Kyle Seager. Tony Sipp had a 1-2-3 8th. Will Harris has been warming up if needed here in the 9th inning. And Seager got a single in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. That's strike 1. Now it's Ken Giles warming up for the Astros. Harris was up in the 8th inning, but now it's Giles. Seth Smith is on deck, and Adam Lynn, so 2 left-handed hitters to follow. So Sipp would have a chance to get the final 6 outs in this game, but it could be Giles coming in. The Mariners have not lost or split a road series. They have had 5 road series. They've won 5. If the Astros win, they'll split this 4-game series, and that will be the first time they have not won a series on the road this year. Strong start for them. 1-2.
Well, I don't think it's all going to be that smooth sailing for Scott Service throughout the course of the year, but great start.
Yeah, he's, by all accounts, done an excellent job with this team.
How did that miss him?
Well, it was right for his right shoulder, and then he spun out of the way very late. 2-2.
Boy, that looked like it was just destined.
It did. Fouled away. We'll see how A.J. Hinch plays it here with all these left-handed batters due up in the 9th inning. He could stick with Sipp. He's at 19 pitches. And sometimes it's just batter by batter. See how it goes, and if the pitch count gets up there, maybe make a move at that time as needed. One hopper, Altuve. That's 1 out.
Just sizing up that 1 hopper. Watch your lips and make the play.
Yeah.
I have a feeling with Tony Sipp, he might be in that boat of not available tomorrow anyway, so get as many outs as you can.
Yes. Yeah, if he can string the outs together, he could get the final 6 outs in this game. Seth Smith looks at ball 1. Smith is 0 for 3. Just checking back on the appearances of Tony Sipp. He has not gone more than 1 inning in a game this year until today. And typically a guy who's the only lefty in the bullpen is going to be in play as many times as the manager can keep him in play, because quite often it's a 1 or 2 batter appearance, allowing him time to recover for the next game.
Yeah, you look at those stats for those lefties, and a lot of times it'll be 70 games, 38, 40 innings.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh, those lefty short guys, what do they call them? Loogies? Lefty 1-out guys.
That's it, huh?
They can pitch for 13, 14 years.
Does that go back to the 1930s?
No. Goes back to Tony La Russa. High ball to center field.
Doesn't everything.
Jake Marisnik puts it away. Well, Tony Sipp is no loogie. He's gotten 5 outs so far. And Adam Lind will come up. That's pretty unusual. But he shows the versatility that he can bring to this bullpen when asked to do something extra. Brent Strom on the phone to the bullpen. Gonzalez has been warming up. Adam Lind is 1 for 3. Astros an out away from going 4-3 on this homestand. Fly ball near the right field line. George Springer running over after the long run. He's there for the catch to end it. Tony Sipp gets the final 6 outs to help Colin McHugh to win number 4 of the season, beating Hisashi Iwakuma, who goes to 1-4, and the Astros gain a split of this 4-game series with the first place club. They're now 6.5 games behind front-running Seattle. Final score today as they really hustled on the bases with 5 steals as the Astros 5, the Mariners 1.